What's up guys, welcome back to Spare Change. Today in for a review, we've got 10 Cloverfield Lane on 4K Blu-ray. I won't get into any plot details, but it does involve aliens. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the video and audio quality. Now for some quick tech specs. The movie was shot in 6K. It's got a 2K DI. Runtime is 104 minutes. It's rated PG-13. Aspect ratio is 235:1. So if you're viewing on a TV, you'll get those black bars on the top and bottom of your screen. So for image quality, I thought the presentation would go from very good to extremely clear and sharp. I am viewing these discs on a 126-inch screen, so if you're watching on something smaller, your viewing experience may be a little bit different. There is a slight softness for much of the movie, whether it's from the encode or the director's intent. And other times, like the obvious close-up shots, looked referenced with details so good I could see a small blemish under the corner of Michelle's nose. This was a little tougher to see on my 65-inch. Facial close-ups could be razor sharp, and other times, somewhat soft. Some of the surrounding elements, like the cement texture on the walls in Chapter 2, appeared very detailed, with every porous nook and cranny rendered extremely well. HDR usage was subtly used, with some very good peak highlights from the interior lighting seen throughout the bunker, and from the flames in Chapter 13. The color palette of this movie leans on the darker side, so HDR's wider color palette does bring out better shadow detail that added some increased depth to the image. Black levels seem to go a bit deeper than the regular Blu-ray, with the occasional bright moment of light or splash of color contrasting quite well with the movie's darker visual aesthetics.
Come on.
Audio was done in Dolby Atmos on both the regular and 4K Blu-rays, and I thought it was used mildly. Most of this movie is dialogue driven, so it's front heavy. The occasional scene with music did have a nice wide presence that spread through all the speakers, so soundstage was nice and wide when it needed to be. Chapter 1's car crash had some impressive effects as it places you inside the vehicle with sounds moving around and above you with a nice level of low and bass. Chapter 9 was also a standout moment as you can hear ultra low bass rumbling under the bunker with sounds of an aircraft moving from the left to the right front height channels. Most of this mix does rely on subtle ambience since they're stuck underground, so you'll hear some echoing sounds throughout the soundstage with generator noises or some occasional sounds moving in the height channels. It does make you feel at times like you're really stuck underground with these characters. Bass response was very low and tactile during the few intense moments, and since most of the movie is just dialogue, there were no issues in the center channel. So for audio, I'd have to give it an 8. This isn't a surround sound extravaganza, but when the action kicks in, sounds do come from everywhere. It's a subtle mix and one I think works well with the visuals. For image quality, I'm gonna go with an 8.2. When it was good, it was reference quality with tons of detail, but for most of it, I found it to be very clean and noise-free, and a worthy upgrade over the standard Blu-ray. If you're a fan of these Cloverfield movies, I think it's worth a purchase. Now if you want to grab this disc, I left a link in the description below. It helps the channel if you use those links, which helps us bring you more content like this. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, check out our social media links below, and if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you guys again in the next video.